Dear students, good morning. I hope you all are in fine health. Today we will revise chapter number 3, Political Ideologies. In this chapter, our syllabus consists of the features of liberalism and communism. Okay, so we are to revise this chapter. We will revise this chapter by referring to questions and then referring to book. So first question is, it is statement based question. According to McGovern, liberalism as a political creed is a compound of two separate elements. One of these is democracy, the other is individualism. So McGovern has given this definition of liberalism, and in the light of the given statement, we are to discuss the features of liberalism. So the answer to this question is given on page 3.3, 3.4 and 3.5. So there are many features of liberalism which are given in our book, but we are to go by the 4 features which are given in our syllabus. So first feature is recognition of importance of individual. It is the first feature. So liberalism accords to the individual a high position of importance. Individual is accepted as a central point of all political, economic and social activities. It is meaningless to talk of society minus individual. So liberalism as a theory, it gives a highest position of importance to individual. Individual is the center of all the activities of the government or all the activities of society. So when we are talking of society and we are not giving any kind of importance to individual, then we are talking uselessly. Okay, we are just talking which is not good, because why talking about society minus individual is useless, because a society is nothing but a large and active group of individuals. Because society, what is society? It is just a group of individuals. So when we are talking about society and we are not talking about individuals, then we are just talking uselessly. The society is a means to an end, which is individual. So what is society? It is just a means. Means एक जरिया, and the end means result. Result is individual. What is the meaning of this statement? This statement has a very deep meaning. It states that whatever we are doing in society, we are just doing it for the benefit of the individual. Okay, for example, when we are talking about a clean environment, we are talking about the healthy air in which the human being can breathe. So society is for individual, not the individual for society. So society is there for the human beings, and human beings are not there for society. Second is sport for human right and freedom. So this is the fourth point, but in our syllabus it is the second point. The liberal thinker supports human right and freedom. So liberalism as a whole, it supports human rights and freedom. No state or society should abolish or restrict them. So no society, no state, no government can restrict them or can stop them. The state is to protect all the rights. What is the main work of the state, the main work of the state is to protect all the rights of the individual. According to them, the basic rights are: first, the right to life; second, the right to property; the third, right to liberty, equality, and justice. According to the liberal thinkers, there are three basic rights. First is right to life. Second is right to property. Third is right to liberty, equality, and justice. This is the main reason that in the liberal countries of West, we have these kind of rights which are given to the people. Okay, although we have these rights in our country also, but as our country is a socialist country, right to property is not the fundamental right, but in Western countries, right to property is the fundamental right. Next is seventh point is constitutional and limited government. What is the meaning of constitutional and limited government? Constitutional government means a government which is formed according to the provisions of the constitution. Okay, so the government is formed by the constitution. It holds the term as is stipulated in the constitution. The government is formed as the way it is given in the constitution. So it is the constitutional government. Next is limited government. What is the meaning of limited government? Limited government means that the government enjoys only those powers which have been given to it by the constitution. Okay, it cannot cross its limit. The limits which have been defined by the constitution are to be respected by the government. If the government is not respecting the limits, it has to be removed from its position. So this was our third point. Fourth point, which according to book it is point number 8 on page 3.5, support for democracy. Liberalism was born as a reaction against the absolutism of the rulers. It upholds democracy because it alone could really ensure the rights and freedoms of all. According to Locke, a government should born out of the people's consent and should be based on people's consent. Liberalism believes in representative institutions, adult franchise, free and fair elections, independent, impartial judiciary, rule of law, and social welfare. So liberalism, it is a concept which was formed in Western hemisphere of this world, means the Western countries. So it was born as a reaction to the absolutism, dictatorship of the rulers. So it supports democracy because according to liberalism, it is the democracy alone which can ensure the rights of the freedom and rights and freedom of people. Locke also says that government should be that government which is formed by the people and which holds tenure or term on the basis of people's consent. Okay, means the government should be democratic. It means that government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So liberalism believes in the representative institution. A representative institution means the institution in which the will of the people is represented and the people are being represented. Adult franchise. Adult franchise means all the adult people of the country, they have the right to vote. Free and fair election. Free and fair election means the elections which are held in the country are free and without any kind of impartiality. independent and impartial judiciary. So the judiciary should be independent and impartial, means the judiciary is not dependent, or it is not under the control of the executive, because it is the independent and impartial judiciary alone which can secure the rights and freedoms of the people. Rule of law means the rule of constitution should be there, not the rule of any kind, any individual person. Social welfare means the government should adopt such policies which lead to the welfare of the people. For example, pension in old age, pension in kind of any kind of injury, or any kind of bad health. Okay, this is social welfare. So this is all about liberalism. Second question is, we are to explain any 4 features of communism. Okay, we will revise the features which are given in our syllabus. So firstly, we will revise the definition of communism which is given on page 3.9. We will revise the definition given by Oxford English Dictionary. It states that a political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid according to their needs. So communism is a theory which was given by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in their book The Communist Manifesto, which holds that the people should revolt and they should form a society in which the property is collectively owned, means there is no private property, and each person works and he is being paid for the work that he is doing. So we will revise its features. So first feature is dialectical materialism. What is the meaning of dialectical materialism? Dialectical materialism is a philosophical foundation of communism developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. It is a method of analyzing historical, social, and economic developments and understanding the contradictions and interactions between opposing forces in society. This approach is rooted in materialism, which asserts that material conditions, rather than the ideas or spiritual beliefs, shape human history. Through dialectics, it explains the process of change as a result of conflict and contradiction with these material conditions. So, it is the foundation of communism. Okay, it mainly holds that the class struggle, it has shaped the world history. Okay, not the ideas, not the spiritual forces which shaped world history. It is the class struggle, means the, for example, the kings are attacking another state because they are moved by their own will to get more and more resources. So this is class struggle to get more lands. So the class struggle shaped world history. Second is class struggle. Class struggle is a central concept in communist ideology, particularly as articulated by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. According to Marxist theory, class struggle is the driving force behind historical development and social transformation. It arises from the inherent conflict between different economic classes within a society, particularly between the bourgeois, that is the capitalist class, and the proletariat, that is the working class. So second feature of communism is class struggle, which states that Class struggle is the driving force which led to the developments in history and social transformation. How does class struggle arises? Class struggle arises because there is a conflict between the interest of the capitalist class and the working class. Okay, the capitalist people who are the owners of the factories or the lands, they want to maximize their profits, and therefore they give less salaries or wages to their working people or the people who are working in their factories or farms. So this is about class struggle. Third is dictatorship of the proletariat. What is the meaning of proletariat? Proletariat means working class. The concept of the dictatorship of the proletariat is a fundamental tenet of Marxist theory developed by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels as a part of their critique of capitalism and their vision for a socialist and eventually communist society. It refers to a transitional state in which the working class, that is the proletariat, seizes political power and uses it to dismantle the structures of capitalist exploitation and establish a classless society. So, this is the third feature of communism. It states that the working class, it seizes the power, and it is a transitional state. In this transitional state, when the working class has seized the power, for example, we have studied in history also, Russian Revolution, that the workers, they captured or they took control over their factories in which they were working, and the laborers, they took control over the farms in which they were tilling the lands. So it is dictatorship of proletariat, means now the working class is seizing the power, and when the workers have took control over the factory, they will make it their collective ownership. So this is the dictatorship of the proletariat. Second is stateless and casteless society. Communism as an ideology envisions a classless, stateless, and casteless society where all individuals are free from economic and social hierarchies. Rooted in the principle of Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, the ultimate goal of communism is to establish a system where social divisions are eradicated and the state, as an instrument of class oppression, withers away. So, communism. This is the fourth feature of communism, stateless and casteless society. Now, in the third point, we have read that the workers have took control over their factories. So now when they have took control over their factories, the state withers away. Means there is no need of state. Now the existing distinction between the bourgeois class and the working class, it is also not there because the workers are the owners of their factory. So it is the end of communism. What is the meaning of end? End means it is the main goal of communism, that we are to create a stateless and casteless society. Now we will go by short questions or back exercise. One word. The theory propounded by Karl Marx, which seeks to eliminate class and state, it is communism. Second is a social, economic, and political order wherein man may feel free, safe, and get encouraged to develop himself fully without any outside interference. It is liberalism. So, filling the blanks, the word liberalism has been derived from dash word liberalis. It is Latin word liberalis. Second is the dash has the responsibility to protect the fundamental rights of the citizen. It is the state which has the responsibility to protect the fundamental rights of the citizen. Third is the roots of communism can be traced to Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, हु आउटलाइंड इट्स प्रिंसिपल इन, हमने उसकी बुक का नाम बताना है, दैट इज द कम्युनिस्ट मैनिफेस्टो। नेक्स्ट इज असर्शन रीजन। असर्शन रीजन इसका आंसर और नेक्स्ट एमसीक्यू का आंसर भी आप ग्रुप में मैसेज करके बताएंगे। असर्शन इज अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्सिस्ट थियोरी class struggle is the driving force behind historical development and social transformation. It is assertion. Reason, it arises from the inherent conflict between the different economic classes within a society. This is the reason. So options are again same. Both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Option B, both assertion and reason are correct, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Option C, assertion is correct and reason is false. Option D, assertion is correct, assertion is false and reason is correct. Second MCQ, communism is a socio-political and economic ideology that envisions a classless, stateless society where all means of production are collectively owned. So this is the definition of communism. Which of the following scenarios is the correct representation of this form of government? So 4 options are given and we are to find out which option explains the above statement. Option A, a group protest in public space demanding limited government. Option B, a women's organization protest for equal rights. C, working class seizes political power and uses it to dismantle the structures of capitalist exploitation. D, a student union demands to implement the new education policy. So these are the 4 options and you are to send the answers to this question of these MCQs by messaging me. Okay, thank you so much.